Hey kids! In this video, we're gonna try to make our own lung using just the basics at home. There are lots of really cool resources out there and videos over how to make your own lung, but you have to have certain materials like Play-Doh and balloons. I don't have either one of those things because of the quarantine, so I'm gonna get creative. I'm using Ziploc baggies, rubber band, straw, tape, scissors, and of course a plastic bottle. So if you have all of those resources, you should be able to make a lung with me. Good luck, I hope yours turns out. Here are all the resources that you will need in order to create your lung at home. I have the 3 Ziploc baggies, I have 3 rubber bands, I have a straw, some tape, and scissors. Now, before we get started, please make sure that your plastic bottle is cleaned out. You don't want it to be sticky from the soda. Once you've cleaned this out, please be very, very careful. But the first thing you need to do is make a puncture in this plastic bottle. We're going to be cutting off the bottom, so I need to be able to fit my scissors in there. Now, in order to make this puncture, I decided to use a knife, but if you use a knife or an X-Acto knife or anything else, please be very, very careful. I don't want you to cut your hands while you are going in there. Like if you're holding the knife like this, I don't want it to slip and you slice your hand. So you're going to make that cut right there, and then using your scissors, you're going to stick this inside of the bottle and then cut all the way around. Now this plastic bottle is going to become our thoracic cavity. So our thoracic cavity is made of rib cage and then the diaphragm down at the bottom. So because we don't have a handy thing that is going to be the rib cage, the plastic bottle is going to be the rib cage, the true ribs up here, the sternum, the spine, and the false ribs down at the bottom. And then we're going to put the diaphragm down here on the bottom. So once you've cut all the way around, I would do your best to try to clean this up and make sure that there are no like extra little sharp pieces. Once again, I want you guys to be very careful and not injure yourself at home. Now that I have this cut and it's nice and level, I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side for a little bit. We're going to start working on the trachea and the lung. Now, hopefully you guys know that we have 2 lungs, but in this demonstration, we're only going to be showing 1 just to show the pressure differences. I'm going to cut off the top of this baggie just so that it's easier for me to handle. I'm going to take the straw, put it inside of the baggie. Make sure that there's a little bit of room here because I am going to take one of my rubber bands and tie it nice and tight around the bottom of the straw and the Ziploc baggie. The goal here is to make it airtight so that air cannot get in between my straw or the trachea and the lung or the Ziploc baggie. The rubber bands are going to be the secret here. If you do this too loose, your project is not going to work. So nice and tight. And at this point in time, once you have this all set, you should still have a little bit of the Ziploc baggie peeking up and over. I should be able to play around with this a little bit. If I breathe into it, it'll expand and then I can close it. So what's happening here is that the air is going into and out of the Ziploc baggie purely through the trachea or the straw here. From here, I'm going to take this along with the plastic bottle and put this through. So this is the thoracic cavity, and we want to make sure that our trachea goes up and through. Consider this your neck. Now the next part is going to be a little tricky, and this is what typically other YouTube videos will use Play-Doh for. For me, I'm just going to try to get super crafty here and use my rubber bands. Oh, you know what? I'm going to need 4 rubber bands, so I will eventually need to add another one. Hopefully you guys have those around the house. So, going to lay this down, and just like the other one, I'm going to cut off the top. That way I don't have to worry about all that bulky plastic there. And then I'm also going to cut off the bottom because I want to make another seal here as well. I don't want there to be a ton of excess air going in and out through this trachea, through the space here where the trachea is. So once again, getting very crafty here, and I'll worry about the trachea slipping later. Gonna tie this around nice and tight, making this as secure as possible. Oh boy. Okay, so then that's nice and tight on there. I'm gonna take this other side and I'm also going to rubber band this. I think I'm gonna twist that so it's a little bit easier for me to work with. And I'm gonna pull this down a little bit just so it's easier for me. And remember, it needs to be as tight as possible. We don't want there to be any air getting in or out of it. So once this is on, this should be nice and airtight for me. And the only air that will be able to get into my lung is going in and out of this trachea or straw. All right, so we just have one more step left. I did add another rubber band, but if you have the tape, I feel like you should be fine without that fourth rubber band. What we're gonna do, once again, we're gonna cut off the top because I don't wanna have to deal with that plastic. It's just a lot of excess work. Gonna open this up, and then your diaphragm, hopefully you guys watched the video on Wednesday, it actually sits kind of like a frowny face within your thoracic cavity, so it sits up like this. So when you inhale, the diaphragm moves down and it flattens. Remember, muscles can only contract, they can't expand in order to push anything. So when they contract, that's when the work is happening. And when it contracts, because it's in that frowny face position, it'll flatten and lower, and that's what's going to cause this lung to inhale. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try to squeeze as much air out of here as possible. And then once we have this cut, I'm going to put this over the top here, or over the bottom, my apologies. And I'm going to push this in a little bit so that it resembles that frowny face of the diaphragm. Now this is where that fourth rubber band is going to come into play here, but I'm going to use my tape in order to make sure things are nice and secure. And it does not matter what tape you have, just as long as you've got some tape in order to keep stuff in place. And our goal, once again, is to make things as airtight as possible. Your thoracic cavity is a nice contained space. If you end up puncturing a thoracic cavity, like if you get, hopefully you never get stabbed in between the ribs or anything, it will actually break this seal and that will cause your lung to collapse. So I think I have tape all the way around. It's kind of hard to tell because it is clear. But now that it's here, you can see my hand has gone inside of the lung diaphragm. Hopefully this works, fingers crossed. If I pull down and I'm gently grabbing on the Ziploc baggie here that's supposed to model the diaphragm, if I gently pull down, I can see the lung expanding on the inside. Now, once again, this is super hard to see because it is Ziploc baggies, but I don't have balloons at home. So Ziploc baggies are going to have to work. So if I pull down on the diaphragm, you will see the lung expand. If I push back up, you will see the lung contract. So when you inhale, that is going to cause the diaphragm to shorten, and this thoracic cavity increases in volume, and that decreases the pressure. So air is going to move from the outside environment inside of the lung. If I push up, that's going to decrease the volume of the thoracic cavity because I'm invading this space here. And when we decrease the volume, that increases the pressure and forces the air out of the lung, out of the trachea, and then into the environment. And so that is exhalation. Inhalation, we increase the volume, decrease the pressure. Pressure always helps with our high to low. Air is going to go from high to low pressure inside of the lung. And then when we exhale, the diaphragm is going to relax, which is going to decrease the volume, increasing the pressure, force the air out of the lung and into the environment. So some of the biggest things that you need to know from today, pressure and volume are opposites. So they are inverse of each other. The higher your pressure is, the lower the volume, assuming that we have a constant temperature. And the smaller the volume, the higher the pressure. So they are always opposites of each other. So if I decrease the volume, I increase the pressure, that forces things out. If I increase the volume, that decreases the pressure, and that's going to bring things in. This is how your lungs work. I hope that this model was helpful for you. If you guys were able to actually make this, congratulations. Feel free to show this around to family and friends because we don't have anything else to do, right? Have a good day, you guys, and best of luck with the quarantine.